What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the No Face Crypto channel. Real quick, guys, for Uphold, 100% the best exchange for your crypto. Link in the description. Sign up for Uphold now using my link in the description. Get $20 in USDT or equivalent value right now. All right? Keep your crypto off of the exchanges. In order to do that, you need a cold storage wallet. For that, you can use Ledger. Ledger is a very safe open source cold storage wallet, and with a purchase with using my link, you get up to $20 in Bitcoin back for free. You also get $20 in USDT back for free when you use my link in the description to sign up for Uphold now. And last but not least, Caleb and Brown. For one-to-one support for your crypto, a one-to-one advisor and a one-to-one broker. Please lock in, and you are able to call your Caleb and Brown broker in real time any day, 24/7, 7 days a week, guys. This is the way to go when it comes to offloading and accumulating your crypto. All right, use the link in the description to check that out. I 100% highly recommend that. Full disclosure, I do get a kickback, but it is okay, guys. With that being said, let's get into the video and lock the fuck in. You feel me? No face, no guys. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm speaking straight from the heart today. There's not going to be much crazy stuff going on in this video, so if you don't want to watch it, that's fine. But there is some very, very important stuff we need to cover. Alright? Jerome Powell will be speaking at some type of summit or something in just a few minutes. I don't know if this video will be out in time, but I am just saying something is different in the air in this crypto space right now. And I can go on, but let me just say this, alright? You know, in real life, when you hear random people talking about crypto, that we're about to go on a rocket, guys. And I know the charts might look crazy. This last week has been a little bit wild. These last few weeks has been kind of crazy. If you have not been stacking up your crypto, you are making a huge, huge mistake. Alright, and I just want to speak to everybody here. It doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter where you're from, what your experiences are, where you live, what's going on, guys. Crypto is for everybody. This is a chance for everybody to make some money and everybody to get ahead financially. And I know it sounds crazy, but I really want to speak from the heart here because look, over the last few days it's been some crazy experiences. Obviously, I have a life outside of this YouTube channel. This YouTube channel does not. It is like number 7 on the priority list, guys. I got a lot of shit going on, and I gotta take care of that stuff. And I can't keep up with YouTube every day and drop daily videos. It's just not possible sometimes. When it is possible, I absolutely will do it, but neither here nor there. All right. I work in a place where all walks of life come to. We'll just say that. And I'm just gonna share some experiences that are coming from another person, but this is something that has happened. All right, and I just want to kind of put my perspective into it. So there's a gentleman who, let's just say he has like tons of businesses, tons and tons of businesses. Very smart guy for sure. Tons of businesses, a lot of money, right? Doesn't really have to worry about anything in life at all. And this gentleman had a lot of Bitcoin, right? This is real life. Like I have met this person personally. So I'm just trying to share this with you guys. So this person has Bitcoin, and essentially they want to cash out of their Bitcoin and go into another asset, which is not even related to this channel, so we're not going to talk about it. But essentially he wanted to cash out his Bitcoin, pay the taxes, move that money to another asset, right? So we can assume that this guy's made profit on Bitcoin. Well, here's the issue here. This gentleman has attempted to do this through a bank, a very large central bank, and a very large bank. Everyone has this bank. Everyone knows this bank. I'm not going to name names or hear anything. I don't know. Yeah, I want to protect everything here. You know what I'm saying? But this gentleman is trying to transfer money to a bank to then transfer it to another asset, which he's being instructed to do by financial advisors. This is presumably the proper way to do things nowadays, and this is what this guy thinks the proper way to do things is. And so he's doing this. And long story short, guys, the bank is giving him a lot of trouble, and he's on a timetable here, right? When you're trying to make an investment and you see a play to make as an investor, you suddenly go on a clock, and you have to make that investment by a certain amount of time. And I know people try and say, don't try and time the market, yada yada yada. Look, that's not how shit works. Okay, and there's certain things you can invest in where time matters. And so he's trying to do this, cashing out from Bitcoin, and the bank is not letting him do this, guys. The bank is giving him tons and tons of issues. Now, eventually they will let him do this, but I mean, we're talking about days and days of precious missed gains because the bank is holding up his money that was cashed out from crypto, which he's being forthcoming about to the bank. And the bank is asking him all these questions like, how'd you find this? Is real life, guys. I'm not making this shit up. How did you find out about crypto? Who's teaching you about crypto? Do you have plans on buying more crypto with this money? Like all types of really just not right questions for somebody. If we're trying to confirm if this is his or not, these aren't valid questions. And this, mind you, this person is outsourced and not in the country that this guy is trying to transfer from or in, right? So this is going bank to bank transfer, guys, and this is how many problems they are running into. It's taking days to move. I think it's like $15,000. It's not even anything crazy, right? This is an absolute joke of what we are living through, and I need you guys to understand this is real life people that are going through this stuff, and these are people who presume they're doing the right thing, but they don't even have the knowledge to know that like there's ways to get around this, and there's ways to transfer this to other platforms without going through a bank. But unfortunately, laws just got passed. Banks are supposed to be comfortable with this stuff now, and they're major issues. And unfortunately for this bank, they've lost a very wealthy customer. And I've had this conversation in person. This is all real, guys. This is just something to think about as we are going into a crazy run. And if you've not been stacking up the last 3 days, 4 or 5 days, a week, 2 weeks, guys, I mean, we've been gifted. You guys are being gifted these prices. So, the world will wait and see what Powell has to say. But with that being said, no matter what happens, it can go down, it can go up. I mean, I'm presuming they're probably going to cut rates, guys. If they cut rates even a little bit, this market's going to jump. If they don't, we might keep going down for a little bit. But honestly, stop putting your trust in one guy. Powell doesn't matter. This isn't about him. All right, guys, get ready to lock in because we are going on a run never seen before in this space. And I know this because people in real life, like literally that was one of like three people yesterday came in talking about crypto, all types of shit. 3 people I just ran into in my normal life that I've never met before come in talking about Bitcoin and shit and talking about just pretty much Bitcoin, but crypto. Like, this is how you know, guys, we are going on a fucking run. It is happening soon. The air is changing. The energy is different. You can just feel it. People can just feel it. Over the last few weeks, the energy is different. Okay? Now, with that being said, I'm just going to close out because, look, there's so much stuff has happened, and it's hard to keep up with everything. All right, but obviously this is like an XRP main channel, so I am going to cover this real quick. But we had an ad pop up in Times Square yesterday, guys. In Times Square, guys. Where is it? It was a Gemini, yeah, Gemini. So there's a Gemini ad. Gemini's going crazy. I want to keep that in mind, guys. Gemini, we're going to cover everything. Just 1 second here. Alright guys, so you've seen in the previous clip a little bit, we had multiple Ripple ads popping up in Times Square. Now we have a Gemini XRP white label Mastercard. Allegedly coming Monday, 8/25, guys. And Gemini Exchange, you don't understand how bullish this is. Gemini Exchange is saying prepare your bags. If y'all haven't been stacking up on XRP, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I can confidently say I don't even know what the price is right now. I can confidently, we went below tether for 1 second. Now we're going straight back up. You see what's happening, guys. Matter of fact, I literally was going to buy in. I need to do this right now. Hold on. You guys need to be stacking up. Like, if you haven't been stacking up these last few days, go ahead and do this shit right now. This might be your last opportunity to get in before $3. I don't know what Powell is about to say, but XRP is already reacting. Yeah, nah, I need a bag of this. Sorry, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. This is real time. I'm letting y'all know what I'm doing in real time. So Gemini Exchange drops his ad yesterday, guys. There's not much to say. All I'm saying is get fucking ready and stack up. And we're gonna close out this video with one piece of news from my end, guys. Right now, in real time, just so y'all know, I'm not bullshitting. I'm not gonna show you guys, but I'm buying 100 XRP right now. I'm buying 100 XRP right now because if y'all haven't been stacking up this last week, you're absolutely tweaking. You're absolutely tweaking. You're absolutely tweaking, bro. No foo-foo lame shit. Boom, done. 100 XRP, just bought. Something light, nothing crazy. But you need to be stacking up. These last week or two, you should have been stacking up. And if you haven't, I have nothing to say. Guys, Powell's going to speak very, very soon. We might even just throw something in this video and just see what happens. I don't know. I have shit to do today. But I had to get this one out. You feel me? And we ain't done yet. I do have shit to do. So I won't be able to catch all of it. And we will be back later today. But it will be very interesting.
Here was something that stuck in my mind for the rest of the year,
to this.
Which is that at this point you are looking at anecdotes with almost more importance than the hard data. That gave you a more
anecdote is more important than hard data, guys.
Collection of data, the surveys that people aren't responding to, things of that nature.
Oh, yeah, just look at employment, right? You have the establishment survey, the household survey. Those two aren't quite adding up. There's a lot of choppiness in that data right now. And so, yeah, you have to take that data seriously. If you read the framework review, it was written in a period where we thought interest rates were going to be zero or low forever, right? And inflation was going to be under 2%. And so there was that color to the previous review. That's all going to be taken out. They then emphasize more a balanced approach and more principles as opposed to tactics. Is 25 basis points going to move the 10-year? No, not really. The market's going to move the 10-year. It's more the signal of where the Fed thinks the economy is, right, and where it's going. That's why I like the idea of pausing the balance sheet runoff as a signal. These are signals, not actual.
I think it's going to be good, guys, but let's just wait.
You know, they're not going to be reflected in people's mortgage rates or credit card rates.
Before we let you go, how much are people talking about who's going to come in to replace Fed Chair Jay Powell?
I mean, obviously people are concerned about that. It's a very important position for this country. And so, yeah, I'm cheering that for the team that's making this selection, that they make the right choice.
Patrick Harker, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it, and I guess go Eagles. Patrick Harker, former Philadelphia Fed president. We are awaiting that speech from Chair Powell, who is going to be speaking here in Jackson Hole in less than 3 minutes' time. Mike, we have been hearing from a number of people the fear of a 70s type of stagflation light. Not exactly 70s, but that seems to be the emphasis.
All right, y'all, forget all the bullshit. Let's cut to what this fucking wig head lizard face has to say.
And frankly, the international feel here.
The policy that's going to get Wall Street's attention because it's opening the door to a rate cut.
The S&P 500 is pumping right now.
With policy in restrictive territory, the baseline outlook and the shifting balance of risks may warrant adjusting our policy stance. The Fed is also announcing its new framework, which is pretty much as we were just talking about with Pat Harker, dropping the reference to the effective lower bound, eliminating the inflation makeup strategy, committing to contain inflation expectations and concern about labor market shortfalls. But the key here is that there are downside risks to employment. The Fed chairman says the inflation outlook is that it will rise, but perhaps at a slower pace. So right now we are looking at a Fed that has the door open for a September 17th cut. And I guess, Lisa, we're probably going to see the long end and the short end reacting here.
Well, let's pull that up right now. You do see an absolute catering teetering in yields on the heels of this opening up to the potential for rate cuts coming out. The downside risks to employment are rising. What you can see also rising. The S&P 500 now up 1.3%. Yields down 8 basis points on the long end for the 10-year, even more for the 2-year.
And looking at the inflation-adjusted yield, the 10-year real yield comes in 6 basis points. That is substantial. It's still within the range, but at 1.86%, it's a real reversal towards a presumption of Fed accommodation.
Yeah, and this comes at a time where there is this question of how they are going to message this, given that inflation has remained above that 2% target since 2021. Mike, do we hear anything about why this is a Fed willing to look through that kind of inflation?
They do anticipate that tariffs are going to add to inflation, and they think it will take place over time, but they're still looking, at least as Chairman Powell puts it, they're still looking at these as one-time price adjustments within each sector. So it's likely that inflation is going to go up, but then they think it stabilizes and might go down again.
Well, right now, let's take a listen to Jay Powell, Chair of the Federal Reserve.
In my remarks today, I will first address the current economic situation and the near-term outlook for monetary policy. I will then turn to the results of our second public review of our monetary policy framework as captured in the revised Statement on Longer-Run Goals and Monetary Policy Strategy that we released today. When I appeared at this podium 1 year ago, the economy was at an inflection point. Our policy rate had stood at 5.25% to 5.5% for more than a year. That restrictive policy stance was appropriate to help bring down inflation and to foster a sustainable balance between aggregate demand and supply. Inflation had moved much closer to our objective, and the labor market had cooled from its formerly overheated state. Upside risks to inflation had diminished, but the unemployment rate had increased by almost a full percentage point.
All right, Lizard, listen. There's one song I want to play. Shut the fuck up. There's one song I want to play right now. We're fucking pumping, bro. What'd I say? XRP's gonna pump, bro. Do I still have a long open on this? Yo, I had a long open on this.
De style holding, où le canot est à nid longé. Flip the switch.
En das Milot, gibt's Meldungen.
Quit playing, bro. Oh. Set, go. All right, y'all. I think we
2.6% over the 12 months ending in July.
Guys, we can see here the US dollar is dumping. Bro, you know what's pumping? I mean, this is not a joke, guys. This shit went from 112 to 114 in 2 seconds. You've seen it on my channel. Stack your fucking crypto. We're going on a rocket. The air is different. The vibes are different. The energy is different. I'm telling you guys. I can feel it. Something's happening.
In contrast, housing services inflation remains on a downward trend, and non-housing services inflation is still running at a level a bit above what has been historically consistent with a 2% inflation. The effects of tariffs on consumer prices are now clearly visible. We expect those effects to accumulate over coming months with high uncertainty about both timing and amounts. The question that matters for monetary policy is whether these price increases are likely to materially raise the risk of an ongoing inflation problem. A reasonable base case is that the effects will be relatively short-lived, a one-time shift in the price level. Of course, one time does not mean all at once. It will continue to take time for tariff increases to work their way through supply chains and distribution networks.
All right, I don't really have to. I'm going to listen to some of this on my own time, guys. I'm going to end this video. Essentially, this is not bad. This is pretty good. This is better than what we have seen in the past. So we're going to see a little bit of a pullback after this runs up, but beautiful. Beautiful, just what we wanted to see. And yeah, I'm going to close out. You feel me?
Is 25 basis points going to move the 10-year? No, not really. The market's going to move the 10-year. It's more the signal of where the Fed thinks the economy is, mortgage rates or credit card rates.
Before we let you go, how much are people talking about who's going to come in to replace Fed Chair Jay Powell?
Well, all the time. You guys are talking about it all the time.
I mean, among the Fed members.
We're going, something's different.
I mean, I haven't. And so, yeah, I'm cheering for the team that's making this selection, that they make the right.
Come what may, we will not allow a one-time increase in the price level to become an ongoing inflation problem. So, putting the pieces together, what are the implications for monetary policy? In the near term, risks to inflation are tilted to the upside and risks to employment to the downside. A challenging situation.
I gotta kind of break this down, and I'll have a more deeper video on what this guy's saying a little bit later. I wanted to catch some of this live, so you guys can kind of see. I mean, this is how you make money in the market, bro. I just bought 100 XRP live, did that. I'm already up on that in 2 seconds because I knew when to buy. Then I got a long. You seen that shit? Printing. All right, I'm out of here, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here. You feel me? All right, before this video officially closes out, guys, I started out this video on bubble maps, and this is what the maps look like. Red, the entire thing. By the end of this video, we are positive the entire way. So that is how fast things can change in crypto. I don't really have much to say. You guys do with that information what you want to. But I'm just here to show the facts. You feel me? No face, no fucking care.